There are moments in life when the world feels louder than usual, even if nothing dramatic is happening. You step into a busy mall, a crowded station, or a packed market, and something inside you tightens. It's not fear, not danger, just a subtle pressure that rises quietly, making you wish you could step out for a moment of air, a moment of silence. Everyone around you seems fine. They laugh, talk, move through the noise with ease. But for you, the air feels heavier. Every sound feels sharper. Every passing face feels too close. You become aware of your breathing, your steps, the rhythm of your heartbeat trying to stay calm in a place that doesn't feel calm at all. You wonder, why does this happen to me? Why do crowded places feel so overwhelming? Why do I feel drained before anything even happens? If you've ever asked yourself that, you're not strange. You're not alone. What you feel is deeply human, and the reason behind it goes far deeper than most people realize. It's not just personality. It's not shyness. It's not simply introversion. In fact, many people who are confident, expressive, social, and successful still feel this quiet discomfort in crowded environments. Crowded places don't just overwhelm the senses, they overwhelm the sense of self. And the story behind that begins long before modern life existed. The human mind evolved to stay alert in unpredictable environments. Too much movement, too much noise, too many shifting signals. Your brain flips on a quiet form of vigilance. Not panic, awareness. A whisper saying, "Pay attention, something is off," even when nothing is actually wrong. This doesn't make you weak. It makes you perceptive. Your nervous system notices subtleties. Your awareness runs deeper. And when the world around you becomes chaotic, your inner world reacts. But that's only the beginning, because for many people, this goes beyond biology. It touches identity, emotion, and the way your mind processes life. People who dislike crowded places usually have a mind that feels more than it speaks. A mind that observes deeply. A mind that thinks with sensitivity and awareness. When a reflective mind enters a noisy environment, the world gets louder on the inside. Every voice becomes a signal. Every movement becomes information. The mind tries to decode everything at once, not because you want to, but because that's the way your awareness works. It's not people that overwhelm you. It's the inputs, the signals, the constant flow of energy. Your thoughts need space to breathe, and crowded places shrink that space. Personal space isn't just physical for you, it's mental. It's emotional. When strangers press too close, when the environment feels fast and unpredictable, your mind feels cornered. Quietly, subtly, but unmistakably, crowded environments also carry a symbolic weight. They represent the rush of the world, the noise, the expectations, the pressure to keep up. For someone who feels deeply, that environment doesn't feel energizing. It feels disconnecting. It makes you wonder, where do I fit in all this movement? How can I feel alone in a place full of people? That's the paradox. Crowds don't always create connection. Sometimes they highlight the lack of it. Being surrounded without being understood creates a quiet emotional tension that most people never notice, except you. People who dislike crowds often grew up being hyper-aware. Maybe you learned to read the room early. Maybe you noticed emotional shifts before anyone said a word. Maybe your mind became used to scanning your environment just to feel safe. And inside a crowd, that awareness multiplies. Suddenly, it's like having too many tabs open in your brain. Nothing looks overwhelming from the outside, but inside it feels like your thoughts are running a marathon. Crowded places also remind you of how fast the world moves. People rushing, walking with urgency, wrapped in their own lives. And that awareness triggers a quiet kind of existential reflection. Not dramatic, just real. For someone who thinks deeply, that reflection can feel like emotional weight. And the world rarely slows down to match the pace of your mind. Crowded environments offer proximity without connection, movement without meaning. And for someone who values authenticity, that emptiness feels heavier than silence. You're not looking for isolation. You're looking for meaning. You're looking for presence. And that's why the noise feels wrong. There's also something else, something inward. People who get drained by crowds often have rich inner worlds. Their thoughts run deep. Their emotions carry layers. Their creativity flows in quiet moments. Their clarity grows in stillness. When placed in a crowded environment, that inner world doesn't vanish, it gets pushed down. It becomes harder to access. And losing that connection, even for a moment, feels like losing your emotional grounding. This isn't weakness, it's awareness, it's sensitivity, and sensitivity is depth. Another hidden truth is about attention. Not the attention you receive, but the attention you give. You don't scatter your focus everywhere. You invest it intentionally. Crowded places force your attention into fragments, your mind trying to track everything and nothing at the same time. That fragmentation is exhausting. You're not reacting to the same environment everyone else is experiencing. You're reacting to 1,000 subtle signals that most people never notice. The hum of voices, the tension in someone's posture, the emotional energy in the air, the unpredictability of movement. Your brain reads it all, even when you don't want it to. That's why fatigue hits you harder. The noise doesn't drain you, the processing does. Loneliness inside a crowd also has a psychological root. Humans don't crave bodies around them, they crave emotional alignment. You can feel completely peaceful alone and strangely invisible in a crowd, because presence without connection isn't comforting. It's hollow. People who prefer quiet spaces aren't avoiding others. They're seeking meaning in a world that often moves too fast to offer it. They choose depth over noise, authenticity over chaos, emotional clarity over mental crowding. And here's something few understand. Your mind works best in quiet. Your creativity unfolds in stillness. Your thoughts become sharper when the world around you slows down. Crowded places interrupt your rhythm, not dramatically, just enough to disconnect you from your center. Stepping out isn't running away. It's resetting. It's reclaiming your mind. Some people shine in chaos. Some shine in calm. Both are valid. Both are human. But the world often celebrates loudness, fast movement, constant interaction, as if that's the only way to live. But some of the most emotionally intelligent, insightful, and intuitive people feel most alive in quiet spaces. If crowded places drain you, it's because your mind wasn't designed to skim the surface of life. It was designed to feel deeply, think fully, and connect meaningfully. You don't want noise. You want truth. You don't want crowds. You want clarity. You don't want constant stimulation. You want inner stability. This isn't a flaw. It's your rhythm. You sense emotional energy. You notice what others miss. You feel the unspoken atmosphere of a room. That awareness becomes overwhelming in crowds, not because something is wrong with you, but because your mind is tuned to a finer frequency. A frequency that can't survive in constant noise. And when you step out into fresh air and feel yourself breathing again, that relief isn't random. It's your mind returning to its natural state. Focused, grounded, whole. The truth is simple. You're not avoiding life. You're choosing how to experience it. You're protecting your energy. You're honoring your emotional depth. You're choosing presence over pressure. Some people thrive in noise. Some thrive in stillness. And if you're someone who finds peace in quiet moments, who feels more alive in calm environments, who craves meaning over motion, then nothing is wrong with you. You are simply living life in the way your mind was designed to live it, thoughtfully, deeply, authentically, and beautifully in tune with yourself.